The little creature that didn't run anymore. In the quiet sector of Luma 9, there was a place where injured beings were never asked what happened. They were only asked one thing. Can you stay a little longer? The healing station was small, almost forgotten. Not because it lacked technology, but because it specialized in something more difficult than medicine. Trust. 1. The arrival that said nothing. They brought the cub in at dawn. No name. No origin file that made sense. Just a trembling body wrapped in emergency fabric. Eyes half open. Refusing to look at anyone directly. It didn't growl. It didn't fight. It only did one thing very well. Flinch. Every time a door opened. Every time a voice rose slightly. Every time footsteps came too close. Dr. Kael didn't ask for its history. He just watched. And said softly, "Okay. You don't have to explain anything." The cub didn't respond. But it stopped shaking for exactly 2 seconds. That was the first improvement. 2. Silence therapy. The station had a rule. No sudden movements around trauma cases. No forced interaction. No fixing too quickly. So Kael did something unusual. He didn't treat the cub like a patient. He treated it like a presence that had already survived too much. He placed food near it. Then stepped back. He didn't stare. He didn't insist. He just existed nearby. For hours. Sometimes sitting on the floor. Sometimes reading. Sometimes doing nothing at all. The cub didn't understand it. But it noticed something strange. No one was trying to take anything from it. 3. The first step toward trust. On the third day something changed. The food bowl was left untouched for hours. Then slowly, a small movement. The cub approached it. Paused. Looked around. No one moved. No one reacted. So it ate. Quickly. Carefully. As if expecting punishment after every bite. None came. Instead, Kael simply said, "Good." Not loud. Not excited. Just normal. And for the first time, the cub didn't flinch afterward. 4. The night of panic. Healing is not linear. That night, something triggered it. A loud external alarm. Maintenance drill. Completely harmless. But to the cub, it sounded like everything breaking again. Collapsed into itself instantly. Breathing fast. Eyes wide. Searching for escape that didn't exist. Kael didn't rush in. He didn't grab it. He did something different. He sat down at a distance where it could still see him. And lowered his voice. "You're here. Not there. Pause. Nothing is chasing you." The cub didn't calm immediately. But it looked at him. And that was new. Because before this, it never looked at anyone during panic. 5. Borrowed safety. The next day, Kael placed a blanket near the cub. Not on it. Near it. The cub stared at it for a long time. Then slowly dragged it closer. And sat inside it. Not fully relaxed. But no longer exposed. Kael noticed something important. It wasn't just healing physically. It was learning the concept of safe objects. Something it had never been given before. 6. The first time it chose to stay. A week later, Kael left the room slightly longer than usual. When he returned, the cub was standing near the door. Not trying to escape. Just waiting. That alone was shocking. Because previously, waiting meant fear of abandonment. But this was different. It didn't run when he entered. It just stayed. Then slowly sat back down. As if deciding, this place does not hurt me when I wait. 7. The breakthrough moment. It happened without warning. Kael was sitting nearby when the cub suddenly walked toward him. Very slowly. Every step deliberate. Then it stopped just in front of him. And did something it had never done before. It leaned against his leg. Not collapsing. Not hiding. Choosing contact. Kael didn't move. He just said quietly, "You don't have to do it alone anymore." The cub didn't understand the words. But something inside it did. Because it didn't step away. 8. Healing is not forgetting. Over time, the tremors reduced. The flinching slowed. The panic responses softened. But Kael never told it to forget. He never tried to erase what happened. Instead, he gave it something else. Moments where the past didn't control the present. Sometimes that was silence. Sometimes it was food. Sometimes it was just sitting together without expectation. And slowly, the cub stopped living in every second like it was a threat. 9. The first time it was okay. One evening, the cub fell asleep in the open. Not hidden. Not curled into fear. Just resting. Kael stayed where he was. He didn't move it. Didn't adjust it. just watched quietly. And for the first time in a long while, he smiled slightly, not because everything was perfect, but because something simple had finally become true. It felt safe enough to stop preparing for pain. Ending. Healing didn't happen like a miracle. It didn't arrive all at once. It arrived in small, invisible choices. A bowl of food left without pressure. A voice that didn't demand answers. A presence that didn't take more than it gave. And a broken little creature that slowly learned a new truth. Not everything that comes close is dangerous. And not all silence means something bad is coming. Sometimes silence just means you are finally safe enough to rest.